If one could transport Mark Twain back in time to any of the cities he had visited on his way here 150 years ago, Gibraltar, Marseille, Genoa, Naples, Athens or Istanbul, he would still be able to tell us immediately where he was. Not so in Double or Quits Beirut, right now Dublin again. Two buildings standing side by side illustrate this best. A Holiday Inn shelled out during the Civil War, and next to it, the plush new Hotel Intercontinental Phoenicia with its clientele of investing Gulf Arabs. Mark Twain wrote that Beirut is a beautiful city, with its bright new houses nestling among a wilderness of green shrubbery, spread abroad over an upland that sloped gently down to the sea, and also at the mountains of Lebanon that environ it. Later, we bathed in the transparent blue water that rolled its billows around the ship. Today, that clear, sleepy harbour is once again the Levant's major seaport, testament to the Lebanese merchants' everlasting love for trade and trading. These days, visitors to Beirut arrive by air, or if by sea, by yacht, and use one of its 4 and soon to be 6 marinas, as we did on Vasco da Gama. But the mystery remains why the Protestant excursionists chose Beirut at all, when there are far better biblical harbours so close to hand. Just north of here is Tripoli, with its vast Crusader castle built by Raymond de Saint-Gilles, and next to that the incomparable Crac des Chevaliers. Just south of here a few miles is Sidon, with its own citadel of Saida, the ancient Phoenician capital. Just south of that, Tyre, with its Roman hippodrome, near what has become the Israeli border and now a Hezbollah stronghold as well as UNESCO World Heritage Site. And most intriguingly of all, south of that and only 50 miles away from here, Acre, with its wonderful history going back to the 16th century BC. So why Beirut? The answer lies in Protestant evangelicalism, a concept to make Mark Twain's toes curl, but he was here to report on proceedings, not to practice them. His view was, if Christ were here today, the one thing he would not be a Christian. After all, the whole excursion had been organised by the Plymouth Church of Pilgrims in Brooklyn, and it was only natural that they would want to come here to meet their mission partners in the Holy Land, here in Beirut. 9 months before Mark Twain and the new pilgrims arrived, the first stone had been laid here in this Syrian Protestant church, which went on to become a hospital, then a teaching hospital, and is now the world-famous American University in Beirut. Mark Twain said that man was kind enough when not excited by religion, and the proof of the pudding can be found here in Lebanon, where the French built religious divisions into the constitution. The president has to be a Maronite Christian, the prime minister has to be a Sunni Muslim, the speaker has to be Druze, a sort of esoteric spin-off from Shia Islam. There are 18 official religions in Lebanon, 12 of them Christian, and actually there are far more than that. Apart from the Maronites, there are the Greek Catholics and the Greek Orthodox, the Syriac Catholics and the Syriac Orthodox, Jacobite and non-Jacobite. There's the Armenian Catholics and the Armenian Orthodox, the Assyrian Church of the East, the Nestorians, the ancient Church of the East, the Assyrian Catholics, the Chaldean Catholics and the Melkites, and of course the Latin Catholics. There are some Protestants known here as evangelicals, the Lutherans and the Baptists. Oh, I nearly forgot, the Assyrian Pentecostals. On arrival, Mark Twain wanted to meet the American consul, Jeremiah Augustus Johnson, firstly to thank him for organising the new pilgrims' considerable caravanserai, and secondly, as a journalist, to ask him for a sit-rep in this Syrian province of the Ottoman Empire. Mark Twain wrote in his diary that we've never been much trouble to a consul before, but I fear we've been a fearful nuisance to our consul here. I mention this because I cannot help admiring his patience, his industry, and his accommodating spirit. I thought a sit-rep from the American embassy here would be helpful too, and little did I realise that this innocent request would plunge me into a virtual war zone. We're having to film this clandestino because the American embassy here is a hostile state within a hostile state, in a fortified hill on a far-flung suburb, not unlike one of the old Crusader castles one finds hereabouts. If you want to film and they see you filming, what happens with the Americans?
They take you in and they will ask you many questions and
Yes. And they take you as well, or just
yes,
me? You too? Oh my God. Visitors are vetted and discouraged. One has to apply to Washington to see somebody here. And then you get some guff in reply about non-essential activities and third-party nationals. Better for the diplomats inside. They're treated like virtual prisoners and only allowed out on special occasions, and then only with bodyguards. To see what the point of it all is. It only serves to alienate the Lebanese and play straight into the hands of the increasingly powerful Hezbollah. But there's probably no irony section in the State Department. If American diplomatic efforts can be guaranteed to alienate Lebanese hearts and minds, we can always rely on its cultural icons to raise the banner high. Apart from the English language and the internet and all the TV and film shows, there are the usual suspects like McDonald's and Haagen-Dazs and Starbucks, and now, most significantly of all, a Harley-Davidson dealership. When Mark Twain toured the Holy Land 150 years ago, his caravanserai consisted of the 7 other Americans in the group, a Maltese dragoman, an Egyptian assistant dragoman, all these on horse, plus 24 mules, 12 donkeys and 28 Arab porters bearing the portmanteau and the sleeping tents, along with the kitchen tent and the dining tent, all, as Mark Twain noted, large, finely furnished and handsome. But if he were to retour the Holy Land today, as I'm about to on his behalf, I can't help feeling he would, and I should, go by motorcycle. After all, we know 2 things about God. Firstly, that he's an Englishman, and secondly, that he rides a Harley-Davidson. It all seems to fit. Time for some research, with Marwan Taraf, the local Harley dealer. Aha. This looks like the place. Let's go and try and find Marwan. Lots of Harleys. Hello. Thanks. Congratulations on your Harley Davidson. Yeah, well, it's a new one. Yeah. Is there somewhere we could go quiet to talk?
Well, actually, yeah, we can go downstairs.
Great. Let's go down.
Okay.
Let's go down. If you were to send me off around the Holy Land on a Mark Twain tour, which Harley do you think Mark Twain would have ridden? And which one am I going to try and buy?
I don't think you've got the same
Careful.
complex. But I think you could ride a touring bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice and easy. Yeah. Place to store the beer.
Exactly. You've got all the accessories on it, enough storage room.
Yeah. One like this.
One like this with the saddlebags and
yeah.
the sweeter moved in there right there.
Yes.
But yeah, one like this would be fun.
Yeah. After the long, slow paddle steamer passage here, Mark Twain only spent a day and a half in Beirut before joining the caravanserai on the way to Damascus via the Roman ruins of Baalbek. But it's hot and dusty work out there, and the retour is enjoying some downtime at the swimming pool of the Automobile Touring Club of Lebanon next to the marina. But we set off tomorrow, and we'll meet again on the road to Damascus.